and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie. This is the week 43, October the 23rd through October the 29th weekly wrap up. Alrighty, the weekly wrap up is where I tell you guys all about what's going on with my life, but also what's going on, what books I read last week and things like that. So life update, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but down in the description box is Kiddo's fall swim fundraising link. So if you have a couple extra dollars and you want to keep him in the pool, like I want to keep him in the pool because he's doing amazing, then, you know, feel free to donate. You don't have to, but it's greatly appreciated if you could. Also, the link for the Let Me Introduce You series, which is back in full force, had an amazing interview that dropped last Thursday, and then you guys will get one not this Thursday coming up, but next Thursday following that. I have some edits to do, and I'll be dropping more things like that. All of November and all of December, you guys will be getting the re-release or release of last year's up until this year's weekly wrap-ups that were exclusively over on Patreon. They'll start to come out, or they have been coming out. I'm glad you guys are enjoying that, getting to see full thoughts and feelings on some of the books that I have reviewed in the past that you weren't maybe able to see the full review of in the past. You know, things like that. Getting full words and things like that. They are unedited, so whatever is said in them is what I was feeling in those moments, those weeks and things like that. Last year was very tumultuous for me, so you guys get to see the health journey that I had to go through, that I'm still currently going through, things like that. So yeah, I ended this week or last week by attending the kind of quaint little book signing in Alexandria, and I was so excited. So I saw it a couple of weeks ago, or a couple months ago. I knew about it going on. It was put on by Shay Baby, and she put a nice little thing going together. The book signing was free. They did have panels and things like that you had to pay for, but I could only commit to the free signing. And I went up there. It was like a quick jump, little hop, skip, and a jump up there, and I got some goodies. I am like super excited, right? So I was able to see some of the authors that I have recently talked to, and for my Let Me Introduce You series in person, and that was just so much fun getting to see LaQuette and Naima Simone in person. I had just seen Naima at a Polycon, but it was so much fun to actually put a face, meet in person LaQuette. That was amazing. Got to see Tracy Livesey and Elle Lauren. Picked up some of Elle Lauren's books from the Lunchtime Chronicles. I'm going to, we're on... There's quite a few books in this series, and getting them from the authors is it's so much fun. But I now have my copies of Elle Lauren's section of it, which is Bottoms Up, Fresh Meat, Honey Dripper, Southern Comfort, Fire Roasted, and Watermelon Sugar. I don't know if you guys remember, but I raved about Watermelon Sugar. It's about the coach, and you're getting down and dirty first couple pages. Super excited to have these for my collection now. So yeah, there's that. I got to meet in person Beverly Jenkins. Yes, you heard me correct. Beverly Jenkins. I think I was so starstruck that I completely forgot to get a picture with her. I left and was like, wait a second, I did not get a picture with the Queen Beverly Jenkins. But what is it? But it happened. I met her. Super excited about that. Met this fabulous, very, very sweet debut author named Layla Love. Got a copy of her book Entangled, and I'm kind of excited to check this out. This cover is gorgeous. Like, really? And she's in my area, so super excited. You guys may be seeing this author on the channel a little bit more. Super excited to support someone from the area. Then I also got to meet Maisie Yates, which I had never met before. Like, wow. And you may be seeing more from her on the channel as well. I also got to meet the wonderful Lucy Eden in person. That was fun. Hopefully you guys, I mean, I love her work. I love her novellas and things like that. Hopefully we'll be able to connect and you guys will be seeing more of her on my channel. I got to meet the wonderful Katie Richard in person. I was like, oh my gosh. Super excited for that. And then all the other authors that I got to meet. Oh, and Sierra. See, how did I almost forgot. Sierra London. Oh my goodness. And Reese Ryan. Oh, love both of them. They are wonderful and I loved meeting them in person. So that was amazing. And super excited to possibly work with them in the future. All right, I got a piece of book mail. Let's see. I think this is something that I purchased for myself. A book, of course. Yes. So the third book in the Royal House series by K.A. Lindy, which is House of Curses. I am thinking about doing a straight vlog for this, rereading the first book and then reading book number 2 and reading book number 3. There is a 4th book coming out, but it doesn't come out until next year. She likes to leave us with a little bit of a cliffhanger, and I'm kind of like, do I want to just purchase the books and then have them, or do I want to read and be left on this cliffhanger? But if you don't know, this is about dragons and like this world that KA has like made, and I'm really excited about it. It's really, really pretty. It's so pretty. I forgot I have to make sure, I have to start looking at the books that I get from the Big Bad, because sometimes they don't be coming printed properly, and it's very frustrating. Into the books that I did read last week. Starting it off, I read Taking Shots, which is Nashville Assassins, #1 by Toni Aleo. Placing this in sports romance. I actually DNF this at 12%. I'm giving it, I'm not rating it on Goodreads, but if I was to rate it, I'd rate it 2 stars, giving it 2 Steam fans. Had this as an audiobook. There are content warnings for chronic illness, hypothyroidism, there's self-doubt, there's body image issues, there is, or discussion, there's self-doubt that goes on, and this is all within the first like 12%. Sadly, this book did not age very well. It's like 500 pages long, and I'm like, what? Like within the first 12%, I think we only made it like 2 days into this couple meeting and going on like their first date, but it was like so detailed that I was like, I didn't need to know all that. I didn't need to know all that. And then the constant reminder, even within that 12%, of how our female character Elle is not good enough or isn't the type of woman that Shay, our captain hockey player, would actually go for, because she's a size like 12 or 14 or something like that. And I'm just like, At first I was like, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. It was written in 2014, so you know, we weren't having these discussions on size and chronic illness and things like that, but at the same time, it didn't age well. It didn't age well at all. I need to speed this up too, by the way, because I got a lot of books to talk about. If you didn't notice in the thumbnail. Next book I finished was Weekend Fling, which is Weekend Lovers #1 by Reana. Malori. I think I can't remember if it's Renee or if it's Reana Malori. But this is an interracial contemporary, giving it 4.25 stars, giving it 3 Steam fans. Had this as an ebook through KU. This is a Black author. There's a surprise pregnancy. This is a one night weekend fling turns more. We have Kara, who is this kind of put together kind of person that doesn't like to go out. Her friends encourage her to go out. She ends up meeting a Navy SEAL. His name is Austin. And when their weekend is over, he's actually called onto a mission. And when he comes back, finally getting back from the mission, he shows up on Kara's doorstep and is like, "You're pregnant." And she's like, "Well, I tried to contact you." And, you know, they have to work through that. They have to work through their feelings on that and everything like that. It was very sort of insta-lovey, but there's like a weekend that it's involved, so it's not completely insta-love. But at the same time, it was just a really good novella, kind of bordering on novel, kind of. The next book that I finished was A Wild Heart, which is Heart #4 by Amy Knight, placing this in contemporary, giving it 4.75 stars, giving it 4 Steam fans. Had this as an arc. It has recently been released. You guys need to go read it. It's so good. So this has content warnings for grieving, military romance, or military service fears. Then we have firefighter issues and fears. Oh my gosh, I think I have something in my eye. These characters are over 35, which I absolutely loved. Oh gosh. Sorry about that. We have cancer, loss and therapy, and PTSD. Is there PTSD? No. Well, yes, I'm going to say PTSD as well. So this book is going to have you in your feelings from start to finish. First off, we have Emily, who has the love of her life, who was in the military. You start off finding out that she gets the knock on the door that every service member's significant other dreads. And she has to deal with that. She has to deal with the fact that she has a child, or a kid that's, you know, young, and I was just in my feelings from start to finish. But when her friends Holden and Miranda end up encouraging her to move from where she was living with her deceased spouse to like this new town, kind of starting to start her life again, with her 15-year-old, her teenager now, and, you know, try to get them to open up. They end up meeting Weston, and Weston is attracted to her, but it was a one-night stand thing. But that one-night stand didn't get out of their system, like, at all whatsoever. They kept finding a drawback to each other. And Weston has some things that he is grieving over as well. And I just really love the time and the care that Amy took in telling the story and having me all in my emotions. Like, I was DMing her and was like, okay, I'm crying again. Like, seriously, you really did this to me. The next book that I finished was Zahir, which is The Ruthless Sheik. Ruthless Tycoon #3 by Theodora Taylor, placing this in interracial romance, giving it 4.25 stars. I think I have written here. 4 Steam fans. Had this as an audiobook. This is a Black author. There is content warnings for Dubcon play. Also classism, racism, misogyny, like, runs rampant. Wow. Difference of cultures, very much difference of cultures, because our main male character Zahir is a sheikh, has to end up taking over the throne for his country, and it is a a cultural country that, or a country that has cultural aspects where the men take the lead. I am not of that faith or of that culture, so I can't necessarily say that it's like misogynistic. In the lens of an American, it was very, very misogynistic and sexist and, you know, all that things. But our female character, Prin, she has to deal with the American music sort of culture when her father ends up dying and she's left with all this debt and issues that go around her lineage, and she has to become sort of this quasi parent. But when they are at a wedding in this foreign country, some things end up happening. Prin ends up kissing Zahir, and that's a no-go. So she is then sort of contracted into his life, and there were lots of moments within this story that I was just like, I am not feeling this. I am not feeling this. I don't like the way he is treating her. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, this is a cultural sort of look at the book. I mean, of these characters or the cultures that the characters are supposed to have. And I was just like, it was a rough one for me. In the end, I did enjoy the characters and I have enjoyed these stories. And understand the connections and things like that. So yeah, it's this story is not going to be for everyone. Not going to be for everyone. The next book that I finished was Carmine DeLuca, which was number 10 in the Savage Bloodline collection that I am reading, by Courtney Dean, placing this in Interracial Romance Mafia. Giving it 4.25 stars, giving it 3.5 Steam fans. Had this as an ebook. I pulled it out of KU as well as reading it with the collection. This one had fewer differences between the collection version and the KU version. There were still some, but not as many. So I kind of enjoyed that. Felt comfort in that. We have Carmine, we have Celeste. Carmine is the capo for Chicago, and he is an ex-con. We open up with finding out that he went to jail for some things that some crimes that he didn't commit. He was set up, and being that he is part of DeLuca family, strings are pulled and he was pulled out of jail, or he was released from jail. But one of his businesses is a nightclub, and this nightclub is where Celeste works, or she's a fashion designer and she likes to celebrate. And this is in the territory of the DeLucas, but come to find out her father is the head of the Black Brotherhood, who is a gang that's that also is in Chicago. And so she knows this type of life, but her father doesn't want that for her. And when Carmine sort of stops an attack on her, he is like, yeah, I was already feeling the spark with her because they had ran into each other in the club. They were already feeling a spark, and when he ends up taking care of her after she's attacked, they were like, yeah, this is how this is going to go down. I did enjoy this. There is a lot of violence within this story, revenge and trauma that goes on. It very much connects Enzo to Carmine. Enzo, Carmine, the DeLuca family line is very much connected in this story. The next book that I finished reading was Weekend Rendezvous, which is Wicked Lovers number 2 by Renee Mallory. And this is a interracial romance contemporary. Giving it 4.25 stars, giving it 3.5 Steam fans, ebook, KU, Black author. This one was a Friends with Benefits to lovers situation, and we have Jack, who is the best friend to Weston, and Lisa, who is the best friend to Emily. So you get to see that dynamic. They met the same night, and they ended up having a secret relationship for years. And when they are both finally kind of confronted with what are they doing with their lives, what are they calling this, is it a relationship, is it not a relationship, some things end up happening, some conflicts end up arising. Jack has to really kind of look at the situation. Is he hiding Lisa because there are some racial undertones that he is trying to stay away from, or is it a class issue, or is it just that he doesn't know how to commit, and the issues that he had in his past relationships, are they the reason? And you get to see all that dynamics sort of play out. Lisa kind of annoyed me a little bit in this story because she was very sort of stubborn in some of the things that Jack was showing her. He was like putting it out there for her, but then she kind of just kept kind of poking the bear, just kind of kept poking. But in the end, the two of them, find their happily ever after, and I was good for it. The next book that I finished was Maybe She'll Stay by Robyn Lucas, placing this in women's fiction, giving it 4 stars, giving it 3 Steam fans. Had this as an arc. It doesn't release until next year. This book has content warnings for narcissistic parenting, family trauma, parental incarceration, very much based around self-esteem and self-worth, multiple marriages, relationship issues, and things like that. We have Nancy, who is a esteemed professor, and she has this massively huge heart, but her family dynamic is very, very rocky, and it very much plays into the relationships that she has with men and how she deals with things. But you get to see both sides of her. You get to see her big, amazing heart, but at the same time, you feel frustrated with her because the way that she uses men and the way that men use her is just so frustrating. You're like, oh my goodness, get your head out of your ass. And then her family issues and the dynamic there, it was just like, oh, ooh. But if you have ever been in the situations that, like, if you pick up this book and you start to really identify and connect with Nancy, understanding her, you will, I think, probably find more enjoyment out of it, or at least find empathy with what she is going through. The next book that I finished was Caribbean Jerk. This is a Lunchtime Chronicles book, number 47 by Dahlia Rose, interracial romance contemporary, giving it 4.5 stars, giving it 4 Steam fans, had it as an ebook through KU, Black author. This is quick, fun, sexy, so much goodness. You open up with Olivia. You find out that her boyfriend, Ben, kind of just ghosts her. And she is like, I'm not having it. But then come to find out, Ben buys the hotel that she is working for, comes back and is like, woman, you are my woman. And that's all that's to it. And Olivia's like, excuse me, sir, you ghosted me. And I'm going to need some more explanations. His explanations are amazing and beautiful, and taking care of family, taking care of the issues, doesn't want to put Olivia through any trauma that she doesn't need to, thinking that he can handle that on his own, and wins her heart back with some great, amazing groveling, and their sexy time is amazing too. We get to see Mandy and some other characters that we have seen. This is set in the, I believe it's Barbados. So there is wording and phrases that are native to Barbados, and I was just like, okay, I'm here for this. Yes, I'm enjoying this very much so. quick, fast, and sexy, like I said. Then the final book that I finished reading was Adriano DeLuca, which is the 11th book in the Savage Bloodline collection that I had, by CD Samuda, I believe it is. This is interracial romance, mafia. I'm giving this one 4.25 stars, giving it 4 Steam fans. Got the KU version and had the collection version. I did end up reading both the collection version as well as going back and reading the full KU version because it is very, very different. The author obviously received some feedback and changed some phrases, changed some wording, added quite a bit of content into the KU version that is available versus the collection version that is in the collection. But we have Adriano, who is assumed dead, and then we have Melody, who is his wife, but we come to find out that Adriano was in an accident where he loses his memory for 6 years. He loses memory for 6 years. He's in a coma for 2, but during that time, Melody takes up the mantle of being the head of the family, and you get to see how they end up coming back together, how they end up working it out, getting revenge on the people that put Adriano in that situation, and how Molly deals with the family and the family dynamics and stuff like that. This very much has a connection to Enzo, which I appreciated. It is set in Italy. I believe it's set in Italy or Sicily, maybe. It's set overseas. It's not set in America. So there is that. But yeah, I enjoyed it. But I was kind of disappointed that I had to read both versions to get the full story because they were so very different. So what am I currently reading? I am currently reading Eastern Lights, which is Compass number 2 by Brittainy Cherry. Asher, which is Gideon Brothers number 5 by J. Nell. Chosen by Darie McCoy. And I haven't decided yet which I want to kind of read a series, and I don't know if I'm going to read Madigan Mountains, which is Little Too Late by Sarina Bowen, Little Too Close by Rebecca Yarros, and Little Too Wild by Devney Perry. That's one series. I'm not sure if I want to read that one, or if I want to be in sort of the Halloween mood, even though, November starts in a couple days or has started, by reading the Paranormal Hunter series by Mila Nix, which is Black Moon Rising, and Black Siren Song. I have the physical copies. I've wanted to read these since last year. A new book, a 4th book, comes out in the middle of November, so I'm not sure which series I want to read. Let me know down in the comments which one you guys will most like to hear about, and I may pick it up based on the number of likes you guys give me for that. Other than that, yeah, like I said, if you are willing to donate to Kiddo's his swim fundraiser, it's greatly appreciated. I appreciate you guys. Also, remember that the Let Me Introduce You series is back. If you're an author and you're interested in participating, make sure you fill out the form. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Also, there is a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. The author suggestion form and the author interest form, like I said, is down there as well, for those, things that you guys can get to me. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in another video. If you come with me,